Yo, what's up guys, this is TiensiNoAkuma here with my Xin Zhao champion breakdown. Now, let's get started off with farming. Farming, you have not much of a choice as to what you can do. You can group up the enemy creep wave if possible and use your E. Since your E does AoE damage, it's best if you can get as many creeps within that certain AoE damage range. And after that, only thing you can do is just auto attack. He doesn't have any other form of wave clearing aside from your ult, which you do not want to waste on creep most of the time. So, quite simple, use your E to hit as many creeps as possible, then use your W to increase your basic attack speed and your Q to increase your damage until you can take out all of the creep. Xin Zhao has two types of harassing types of combinations. You can either get your last proc of Q off and then you can follow that up with your E and then your Q, or you can use your E first and then auto attack and then use your Q to reset your auto attack and then continue to chase them until you have to back off. So these types of harassing are based primarily on the situation. When you are willing to trade damage with your opponent, you are better off going off with a second harassing combination. This combination begins with your E to get close and also to initiate. Then follow up with that auto attack and a Q proc. This will deal the most amount of damage possible, and if your opponent intends to fight you, all you have to do is continue to auto attack them. Usually you should only be using this when you know you have an advantage over your opponent. Now, the other harassing combination is to get your Q procs down to your last third hit. On that last third hit, you go in with your E and you auto attack, and that auto attack is going to knock up your opponent. When your opponent is knocked up, they won't be able to retaliate. So that way, if you want to make sure that you don't take any damage or take as little damage as possible from your opponent, your best option is to use the first harassing combination. As you can see here, I use both harassing combinations. I'm fighting against Kennen, and I go in and fight him, and we both get to low HP, and so now I don't want to trade with him. I'm at low HP, and I know that he has his ult, so it's not worth it for me to go with the second harassing combination. And so I set up for the first harassing combination. I hit a few creeps, get my Q proc to the third hit, then I go in with my E, and then I hit Kennen up. Kennen thinks I'm committing, but I'm not. With this combination, I am not committing, I'm just harassing him. And so he's unable to chase me, and he wastes his ult. As soon as his ult's down, I go back in, and I'm going to use my second harassing combination. I know that I can easily kill Kennen 1v1 now, since he's low on HP, so I'll use my second harassing combination to deal the maximum amount of damage, and so I'm able to kill him. Your killing combination with Xin Zhao is quite simple. You E in, and then you auto attack, and then use your ult. Your ult deals more damage the more HP your enemy has, so try to use it as early as possible. The reason why I put it in an auto attack before I ult is because while I'm ulting, my auto attack animation will reset. So I do believe I can deal more damage by getting an auto attack off beforehand. So, quite simple, E, auto, ult, auto again, then Q, and then continue to chase and use your E again when it's up. It's quite simple. Xin has two roles that he can play in a team. You can either go as tank, in which you won't deal as much damage, but you are going to have a ton of CC. Your ult has amazing AoE CC knockback because it's like a Gen ult, and you have a knockup in addition to an AoE slow. So if you're playing a tank, you have the option to peel for your allies, or you can zone your enemy carry with all that CC that you have. When you're playing a carry, when you build more damage on Xin Zhao, but you're a little bit squishier, your best option is to zone the enemy carry or peel for your allies. When you're a tank, you have the option to initiate as well. When you're not playing a tank, you really shouldn't go in first. You'll be taken out immediately, even though your ult does give you some tanky. When you're playing against Xin, the best thing to do is to build a lot of armor and get some attack speed reduction items such as Frozen Heart and Randuins. The thing about Xin Zhao is, now that they buffed his damage output, they basically set him into one single role, and that is a physical damage carry. He no longer benefits off stacking a lot of attack speed, and so because of that, he can't go magic damage attack speed without losing out on the amount of damage that he could get with his passive. So, best thing to do is just build a lot of armor and get some attack speed reduction. CC him down and peel for the carry, and you'll be done. fighting against Xin Zhao. Some great champs you can use to play against Xin include Jax, Malphite, and Lee Sin. Jax in a 1v1 situation should always beat Xin Zhao, primarily because Jax, not only does he have ridiculous damage output, but he has that dodge, and his dodge does stop Xin Zhao's Q, but it doesn't stop the third knockup. It will completely negate all damage taken though. So Jack's really good counter. Malphite is an excellent counter for every single AD based champion in general. So Malphite, another great champion against Xin Zhao. And Lee Sin as well. Lee Sin has amazing armor and an attack speed reduction with his E and his armor from his W. So Lee Sin also another good champion to play against Xin Zhao. So yeah, that's how you counter Xin. So my build for Xin Zhao is to grab an Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, Guardian's Angel, Defensive Boots, a Lantern, which eventually goes into a Bloodthirster endgame, and the Randuins or Maw of Mortalis based on who I am playing against in lane. If I'm against an AD carry, I would prefer to get a Randuins. If I'm playing against a magic damage dealer, I would prefer to get Maw of Mortalis. Usually I get Hexdrinker first, of course, though. So I get a Phantom Dancer over Youmuu's simply because the crit chance is higher and it has a more reliable movement speed and attack speed increase. Though Youmuu's does do more work when activated, Phantom Dancer has a more overall beneficial use since it isn't limited by an activation. For example, I could be running from one part of the map to the other side of the map, and a Phantom Dancer will help me a lot more than a Youmuu's will, since Youmuu's is based on how many times you hit something, and it's better used in team fights. So, just Phantom Dancer, more universally helpful item, in my opinion, on Xin Zhao. My runes and masteries, my masteries are offensive 2190. Since I play a primarily damage dealing Xin Zhao, I prefer to get as much damage as possible, hence the 21 in offensive masteries. You can either go 9 in defensive to help you in lane, or go 9 in utility if you want that extra movement speed and mana. I do the 9 in utility when I'm jungling because I need that extra movement speed. When you're jungling, having extra movement speed is really, really helpful, especially when you're trying to counter gank, or you're going in lane for a gank, or you're chasing an enemy down when you've just ganked. So, as for runes, I get armor penetration, reds. Sometimes I get armor penetration for quints or movement speed based on if I'm jungling or I'm going top. I like to get armor seals and magic resist glyphs. Even though I do play a heavy DPS Xin Zhao, I do prefer to have some tankiness in my build, hence the Guardian's Angel. So I have some armor seals and some magic resist glyphs. So yeah, I think that's about everything for Xin. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys want to see more, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also check out my Facebook page for all of my updates. Now, in the comment section below, please put down the next champion you would like me to do a champion breakdown on. Bye.